Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is another episode of the Price Variance Show, and we're going to do pretty much all this month a Halloween special. So it's like we did vampires, we did ghosts and ghoulies, we did werewolves, and the way we did it last week was I did ghosts and ghoulies, and Mark he did vampires, not vampires, werewolves, and mummies. So this week we're going to reverse it. I'm going to do werewolves and mummies, and he's going to do ghosts and ghoulies. So it should be interesting.
Alan, before we go on, I've got to ask you a question.
Sure.
What is the difference between a zombie and a ghoul?
So a ghoul is a little bit more monster-like, in my opinion. It's more like, so a zombie, in my opinion, is more like a human that's been bitten and transformed, right? Whereas a ghoul is something that maybe some magic using or like evil priest has like risen and kind of used. It's a little different in my mind. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy, so I think of it more the geeky technical way. So I'm not sure if that's the best way, but yeah, so that's my opinion. But
yeah, the way I always think of it is a zombie is pretty mindless.
Mindless, yeah.
Whereas a ghoul
has a bit more intelligence. Yeah. That's a good way of thinking of it too. But usually there's something. They're a little bit more monster-like too. I always think of them as being a little bit more mutilated. I don't know. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that's what you learn when you watch this show. You learn about ghosts and movies.
Essential world knowledge.
Yeah. Very useful. Okay. So let's get started. Show me your first ghosts and ghoulies.
My first ghost and ghoulie. Okay. So I'm going to start off with last week. You showed some Phantom Stranger in your ghost section, and you showed your fantastic Golden Age. I think you got a complete set of the Golden Age Phantom Stranger.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw those a few months ago, and I got very jealous, but I can't afford those. So I got as a result of you showing me, because I like the Phantom Stranger. So. I went out and got this, which is the first Silver Age appearance of the Phantom Stranger, and it's actually in Showcase 80. I mean, it's a 5, but it's just something nice to have in my collection. And I've got some other Phantom Strangers as well. These are just random ones that I've picked up over the years. I've got quite a few Phantom Stranger number 1s. So this is a Phantom Stranger number 1.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's got somebody's written 4 pence on it, so you can tell how old it is. This is from a mini series, Phantom Stranger number 1, a 4-part mini series they did.
Yep.
Heart of a Stranger, and this is a more recent one. This is a Vertigo one. A Phantom.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. It's a nice cover. That I like the way. I like the sort of bit at the bottom separated from the bit at the top. Very nice. And then finally, no, not finally, my Phantom Stranger. I've got, this is, as I think I told you, I collect Brave and the Bold, and Phantom Stranger appears occasionally in Brave and the Bold.
Oh, nice.
So that's Brave and the Bold 89. And this one's really interesting. I think this is from, I showed the number 1 of this series, but I got this one I got in a lot where I bought a whole load of comics, 100 odd comics for not very much, for about £50. And one of the ones that came with it was this, which is Phantom Stranger.
There's more. If you don't know, there's a lot more to that comic than you might realize. Yeah, but yeah, it's a very important comic, that one.
I was really pleased to get this because, of course, it's this this character here who is not the Swamp Thing. It's a sort of prototype Swamp Thing.
Yep. It is actually cited as the prototype Swamp Thing.
And I literally got this for $1. So I was really pleased.
Yeah.
Really pleased.
That's more like a $30-40 book.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
and I love the cover. I love the way this creature has got red eyes, and it's
Yeah, it was definitely a prototype. Like where they were kind of saying, "Oh, this is where we're going to go. We're going to create this character." I think.
Yeah. Well, I actually looked at the dates of this, and this actually appeared between House of Secrets appearance of the first appearance of Swamp Thing and the Swamp Thing 1. So this actually came out between the two.
Between.
Yes.
Oh, I always thought it was before. So it's kind of it's kind of a weird prototype.
That's a weird prototype. Exactly. It came out between the two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's weird. I actually thought it came out before, so I thought it was like more of like a true prototype where it's like the first time that it shows it. Okay.
No, it was this is after the House of Secrets one, but before Swamp Thing 1.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's definitely a cool book to get, and get it cheaply is always nice.
Yeah. Well, the book
I paid a bit more for mine. I think I paid about $20 for my copy.
Yeah, it's still a nice one to have. It's unusual.
Yeah. I really like that one. So it's sort of a bit of it's not a ghoulie, but
well, the Phantom, it's the Phantom Stranger.
But it's the Phantom Stranger part. Yeah, I get that. But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, no,
I was wondering if the Swamp Thing part might kind of consider.
No, I mean, no, the Swamp. No, he's not a ghoul and he's not a ghosty. In fact, in this, he's not even a Swamp Thing. It's an evil scientist dressed up as a swamp monster. Although he does turn into a Swamp Thing at the end. But initially,
okay, but evil scientists, that's not that far away from Swamp Thing. I mean, he was a scientist, right?
He was, yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That's cool. So I'll show you my stuff. Mine's going to be on the werewolf side.
Okay, good.
And I'm going to show you. It's actually a lot of books. But the first one I'm going to show is Eerie #1. I gotta kind of zoom it in there. It's a very small book. What happened was, I think there's like less than 500 in existence of this book, and this is like a near mint copy.
Wow.
They actually produced a bunch of like rip-offs of it. Not rip-offs, like where they what is it called? Not
facsimile.
No, not facsimile. Where people were trying to pretend that it was this comic.
Oh yeah, okay, forgery, yeah.
Forgery. So basically this one is the real one. I bought it almost directly from the Warren Publishing Company. So I bought it from a guy that basically bought it from them. So this copy, basically what they were trying to do was Eerie, if you're familiar with Eerie Publishing, Eerie, the Avalon, I think it was Avalon Press that produced it.
Yeah.
They had sort of given up their copyright. And so Warren was like, oh, we got to get that. So they basically picked up the copyright by, producing the quickest thing that they could. And they produced this little, so they basically created this thing. They, it was like photocopied kind of level of printing. And they just very quick, but it has like a little werewolf in the background. I'm not sure.
Now I can see a werewolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple of them actually.
Yeah. It's a super rare issue. And it's just kind of one of the prizes of my collection, like in my Warren collection. It's probably one of my.
That's a great. Yeah.
Okay. But that Eerie, kind of led to, Eerie and Creepy were kind of like the two big ones. So I'm going to show you a couple of, actually a whole bunch of magazines. So I'm going to show you a bunch of Creepies and Eries. So here's my, this is the werewolf one. And this is actually a really great cover. I think it's Fazetta. Yeah, Fazetta Creepy cover. And this cover is just really loved by like comic artists because it is Fazetta, and it's Creepy #4. Okay, so early creepy, but it was even done with Usagi Yojimbo. So Usagi Yojimbo did their homage to it. Okay, so I just wanted to show that as well.
That's cute.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cute. And then there's some more. We got the werewolf versus the vampire in creepy. It's creepy number 7. Yeah, creepy number 7. And then I brought a bunch of Eerie's. So I was trying to get mummies. So I brought some Eerie's that have mummies. So this is kind of a
yes
Eerie with mummies. Eerie number 78. It's kind of a later issue. And then we got Eerie number 53, another mummy cover. And actually, this is one of my favorite Eerie covers, another mummy one. It's kind of like the mummy's kind of attacking and the boy's like lighting the mummy on fire. Like kind of lots of cool action. This is Eerie number 30. And then we got like Dracula, werewolf, and mummy all on the same cover. Okay. And then really another great cover, I think this is San Julian, is this one, where the werewolf's coming in and it's just a little girl playing with her blocks.
I mean, those Eerie covers, they're so great.
Yeah, they were really great. And one more is this one, is a mummy cover.
Oh, really?
To me, this is kind of like whenever I think of mummy movies, it's always that, archaeologist,
Yeah.
and it's like the mummy comes up from behind, and how he doesn't hear the mummy coming, I don't know, but it's always that, oh, I'm surprised, there's a mummy behind me.
Yeah, mummies have got a stealth mode, I think.
Yeah, they're dragging, like they always like move really, really slowly, and the guy's like just oblivious. I don't know why, but yeah, it's always that case. So that's my a few of my the ones that I found as I was digging through my creepy and Eerie's. So yeah, so I don't know. So do you have any specs you want to show?
Right. So I do have a couple of specs. Where did I put them? So okay, yeah. So I was going to show this. I'm going to show this now, I think. So yeah. So my first spec, my spec for your channel is actually this. It's the Witching.
Oh, the Witching Hour.
Yeah, number 1.
That's a good one.
So really nice. And this is the reason I put this up as a spec is this is the first appearance of the Hecate, the 3 witches. So in the Witching Hour, each of the stories is presented by either the young witch, the mother witch, or the grandmother witch, or the crone, as she is known.
Okay.
They appear again in, and they obviously present Witching Hour for a long time because it goes on for quite a lot of issues. I think it went over issue 200 or something. But they appear again in the Sandman, in the in Neil Gaiman's Sandman. He brings them in, and they tell him, and they have the way he tells a story is if he summons them, each of them have to answer one question that he asks them. And so he asked them where his 3 items of power are. So he asks each one, where's my bag of dust? Where's my mask? Yeah. So they appear in the Sandman as well, which is why I've put this as a spec, because
obviously
people will go looking for the first appearance of the 3 witches who appear in the Sandman.
I actually think it's a great spec for a different reason too, not just for the Sandman series, but because that's kind of like, is that Silver Age or is that Bronze Age?
It's 72, I think, something like that. I think.
So Bronze Age. A lot of Bronze Age horror is becoming kind of hot right now. So I think it's a good. That's another good reason.
Yeah, and Neil Adams, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another reason too. Neil Adams cover, pretty much no brainer. Yeah. I was actually looking at the Witching Hour series to try to pick up some of the issues from it, but I think I have like only a few like random issues of it.
It's quite a big, there's quite a lot of them. So if you're going to start collecting it, it's a bit of a big rabbit hole to go down. Yeah. No, I probably only want, a couple issues. The number 1 obviously is like kind of
key. So yeah, that's a very good spec.
So while I'm on that, I'll carry on because my comics here are DC horror comics.
Okay.
So presenting this, of course, we've got the Three Witches. Now, a couple of the other famous ones also appearing in Sandman are Cain and Abel. And Cain and Abel, one of them presents House of Mystery. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's
what issue number?
Well, this is just one I got. 225 is this, and we've got skeletons. We've got. I've just done this as an example, and the House of Mystery is presented by Cain. Yeah, so there he is, and he presents each of the stories. And then of course his brother Abel lives in the house next door, which is called the House of Secrets, and we've got a mummy on the cover.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's very relevant. So that's relevant.
I mean, these are just random ones that I've picked up for, less than $1 over the years. The House of Secrets and House of Mystery ones, except for certain key issues, are pretty affordable. Yeah, they're not expensive at all. You can pick them up for a couple of dollars. And there we got his brother Abel presents House of Secrets.
Okay, cool.
And both the House of Secrets and the House of Mystery are, of course, in the Dreaming. In Sandman's realm. So they appear quite frequently in the Sandman. So
definitely ones that people will sort of gravitate to if the Sandman series goes well.
I've got another mummy on the cover. Last week I could only find one mummy on the cover.
Now you're finding a whole bunch.
Now I'm not meant to be doing mummies. I'm finding them. Right. Yeah. So again, this, as I told you, I picked up a whole load of DC horror stuff from the 70s for very little money. One of the ones in there was this is Tales. No, this is just called Unexpected, and that's a mummy on the cover. It says,
I know the series.
Mummy in the Iron Mask. And who presents this one? Do you remember who presents this?
No idea.
It's the Three Witches again.
Oh, okay, that's convenient.
So, but they've kidnapped Abel. So there's four. Okay. There's four of them presenting this. Is it Abel they've kidnapped? Yes, it's Abel. Cool. So they appear again there, and this one I just like the cover of this. This is just another of the Unexpecteds. Really nice cover with a kid. It's a Christmas.
I've seen that one before. Yeah, that's a really great cover.
Season's Greetings. It's a Christmas issue. And there's a kid with a large monster hand coming out of the booth.
What issue number is that?
That is issue 220. It's a really nice cover.
Yeah, it's a really great cover. I love those kind of like innocent kids, and then there's like some scary monster that
And another of the DC horror comics was Weird War Tales, and I brought this one along just because it's got a nice ghosty horse rider on the cover.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So there you go. There's my various, mainly ghosts, not many ghouls. I'm going to show you a ghoul. So it's not a ghoul. And is this I'm not sure if this is a cheat or not. It's a trade paperback.
Creepshow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually a book I've been looking for. That's a hard book to find, believe it or not.
This is a great book. You know who does all the interior artwork on this?
It looks like Wrightson.
Yeah, correct. Bernie Wrightson did all the artwork on this. So absolutely great. And the reason I've brought this along is there's some really nice zombie stuff. The second story in, I think.
Believe it or not, I've tried to buy that book 2 or 3 times, and every time I just get outbid or something happens where I just don't get it. That's a book I've been trying to get. I was a big fan of the movie series.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the Wrightson art in this is just great. This isn't the one. I mean, just look at the artwork. Even just somebody standing around having a cigarette.
So this one's based on the movie.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yes, book. It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's there's one here where a husband kills his wife and a lover by burying them on a beach, and then they come back, and these are ghouls. Yeah. So they come back and get him and bury him on the beach as well to get their revenge. So yeah, there we go. Creepshow got some ghouls in it.
Yeah, great. No, that's a really great book. Definitely one I've been trying to get. It's on my want list, but never seemed to be able to have much luck getting it.
This was in my attic. I presume I must have bought this new.
Yeah, it is. I think it's like $100 book now.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a quite sought after book. So
I mean, if you were talking about the innocent and so on the cover here, the kid looks more evil than the thing in the window.
Yeah, well, that's how the movie was. The movie, it was like this kid, and there's a scene in the movie where how in the back of like comics you would have like different things you could order by mail.
Yes.
And he orders like a Venus flytrap.
Oh right, yeah.
And he uses it to eat his bullies. I just, it's like that kind of stuff. I just thought it was funny. Yeah,
and this by Stephen King, of course. So
of course, yeah, really, lots of really great stuff associated to that book. I mean, that's just a great book.
Yeah, that's it for me for your show, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna just before I let you go and we go on to your show, I'm gonna ask you a trivia question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna do my Guess Who, and
Okay.
it's totally not related to werewolves or anything like that. Connection
I'm
to
not
werewolves,
sure
other
that
than the
counts.
fact that in my long box.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really count, but it is Brave and the Bold. You mentioned you like Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I do.
Brave and the Bold presents Aquaman and the Atom, and it's number 73.
Right.
Okay, and this has a kind of a major first appearance.
Is it the first appearance of Galg the Destroyer?
No, that'd be cheating because that's right there. No, that's not it. But it is a character that has appeared in both the Snyder cut of Justice League, and also Aquaman. So this is an Aquaman kind of character.
It's an Aquaman type of character. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a major character.
Is it?
Yep.
Is it female?
Male.
Male. I know very little about Aquaman. I've got some Aquaman and I've got that comic. So if it's got a first appearance in it, this is going to be news to me.
This is a good comic to get, actually.
No, I've got it.
It is a key. It is a key.
I've got virtually all about Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
I don't know much about Aquaman.
Did you see the movie?
Yes.
Okay, well then you know.
Aquaman's father?
No.
No, give in.
Okay, so Aquaman is taught by William Dafoe in the movie.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Okay, and that's the character. His name is Volko.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is where that character makes his first appearance.
No, that's really interesting. That's good comic knowledge.
Yeah. It was so I have a tendency, what I do when I collect, I buy all the characters in the movies, like all the characters that are cool, I think. So I thought he was kind of a cool character, like the sort of the mentor to Aquaman.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd pick it up. I actually have 2 copies of this for some weird reason. So yeah.
That's a good one.
I Volko, I think it's pronounced. So Volko, first appearance.
That was a good one.
Okay, so that was my challenging one for you. Okay.
And I failed.
Yeah, but at least I thought it was like a reasonably, not like, I knew it was difficult, but I thought it was like one that was out there. He's not like a hidden character that nobody's heard of. Like,
that's very valid.
And actually in Justice League, he played a major role. Like he was actually more like, they had him come back a bit more in that.
He's a good actor, isn't he? You want to make use of him.
Yeah, William Dafoe, come on. But he's one of the few actors where he's been in both DC and Marvel. Where
he's what was he in Marvel? He's in
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm a big William Dafoe fan. So I think he's great. Okay, so that's it for this half of our show. We're gonna go into Mark's channel now, and we'll do the second part. And I have a lot more cool stuff to show. I'm sure Mark does too. So we'll go into part 2.